Folks! Folks! I'm here! Did you miss me? No, I'm kidding. It's the same day. It's been 10 minutes since I filmed the other video. We're just doing part 2 because, well, the video got so long. On part 1, I had to let the phone and the camera cool off. So I saw our video was hitting 50 minutes. So if you haven't checked out, part 1 of this video was yesterday. Today, we're going to have the part 2 because, again, if you didn't notice, that was a very long video. So we want to go into the Pokemon and want to go into One Piece, Disney Lorcana, and Sorcery. And I want to touch more on Weiss. I didn't get to talk about that, and that video was getting so long. We had to take about a 30-minute cool-off for the camera and the phone here, and we're going to continue filming now, okay? All right, so let's start with Pokemon, shall we? Behind me, this is all Scarlet Violet era product. This is not my sword issue. This is all Scarlet Violet product, okay? So today is going to be the same as it was an hour ago. We're going to continue to discuss the problems and the continued erosion, the bear market, the collateral damage, and the continued shredding of the cardboard world. Everything from just the players, the collectors, to the stores, the distribution, to the companies. Everybody involved in these food chains and these chain of commands. There's a lot of pressure and struggles. And historically, bear markets tend to continue to pull in all directions and will usually continue to destroy people, companies, and of course, players, collectors, anyone sitting on inventory, and everybody involved. So today, as we continue forward, I want to touch on the other 3 card games we didn't get to here yesterday. Assuming you watched yesterday's video, please check it out. And don't forget, folks, this video is sponsored by myself. I don't have outside sponsors. It's just me in a 3rd floor basement. So when we talk about Pokemon, let's be very blunt and let's be very honest about this shit, okay? I know this isn't exactly making me loved everywhere, but I feel like someone has to say this stuff. I don't know how you all are feeling out there, but I can tell you for a fact, discussing the reality that people don't want to discuss, it sucks. And as I've told you guys, we cover this stuff. This is what we do on this channel. And in the world of Pokemon, let me be very honest with you all. LGSs are pulling back on their Pokemon orders. The amount of new Pokemon product being sold is nowhere near the record and pandemic highs, all this stuff with Sword and Shield. I don't see that turning around anytime soon. And I would like to believe, I'm not sure because Pokemon bought their own printers, if they do not pay more attention, there is a lot of risks that Pokemon and the management is having. Excuse me. And I don't know if management is going to have, well, the balls and the revenue-cutting discipline to realize that if Pokemon does not adjust these numbers, they will continue to have stores ordering less and less of it. As stores back away, they lower their pre-orders. Therefore, as the company keeps printing the same amount or record amounts, you're going to see price erosion and price decay. Nobody really wants to admit that and discuss that, but Pokemon has this problem. It's a very real thing, and ask any Pokemon store right now, they can't sell it. The product is dead. It's fucked up, and they're pissed off because everyone's saying, dude, I can get any amount of Pokemon. Distributors are asking where it is. I mean, look, Scarlet Violet, this is set 4. Sorry. I didn't know which one. This is Paradox. So that's not going to fall on me, is it? So this is Paradox Rift. Do I think these are terrible products? No. Just like we talked about with Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, we talked a little bit about Weiss, just like Pokemon. All of these products are not bad products. The people making these products at Pokemon and the artwork are not, they're doing a good job. But you have a situation where the market cannot support the volume of Pokemon product that is coming out at each release. When you have distribution selling most small stores, Pokemon boxes at 95 to like 102 a box, and TCG Player has most Scarlet Violet boxes at what, 95? Maybe 100? Maybe 105? So essentially, they're being sold with no margins or taking a loss afterwards. So what's happening is stores see this, a new Pokemon product is ready to come out, and they're saying, why should I be on the books for a large amount when I'm just going to get fucked? And the amount of distortion and the amount of frustration that stores. I mean, I continue to get the equal amount of messages on Pokemon as I do with even Magic. The amount of stores and people who've reached out to me frustrated that their Pokemon shit, they're like, Rudy, Pokemon was hot. It was doing good. It was the Sword and Shield was the pandemic thing that saved my ass. What is going on? Look, I'll be honest with you all. Pokemon saw the data. They were using data from 2 years ago. They bought their own printers. They're making tons of product. Is this going to cause stores to back away? Be pissed? Quit Pokemon? It's unsellable? Yes, it is. They're going to fucking quit. They're going to order less Pokemon. They're going to back away. And that's just how it works in the industry. These stores, let's take Timmy's Emporium. If you have a small LGS, let's say your overhead's only a couple thousand a month with you, your wife's boyfriend, and Timmy the cashier, who probably only steals when his friends are there and you're not there. Let's say you have that setup, okay? You cannot pay overhead. You cannot sit on inventory because you don't have the system and the giant foundation that someone like an evil Rudy has in place. You know, I am able to navigate this. I'm the bad guy, but I'm able to navigate it because I've done this so long. I've been through so many market cycles. I'm going to be honest with you all. This current downturn market cycle is fucking nasty. Okay? This shit is dirty. I mean, people in stores, distributors, I'm not going to go into names of distribution. Distributors are having cash flow issues. Okay? The frustration goes all the way across. It bleeds through the food chain like a virus. Not some stupid virus, a real virus. And Pokemon is not immune today, folks. As we continue to discuss this stuff, you will not have anybody else discuss these things on other channels. Because no one is stupid enough to build a life of cardboard and then turn around and be like, guess what, everybody? You're all getting fucked like me. No one is going to make videos like this. And when things go crazy, and remember in 2021, all the videos I was making about record highs? That's what happens. And now, this particular bear market is absolutely, this may be the worst downshift I have seen in the CCG world since maybe even 2008. The COVID in the 2020, that was fairy dust, Fugazi. You know, it's just a bunch of baloney. It was a short term, then a bunch of free money, helicopter handouts. It was a goofy thing. But this particular market, with the behavior that all the consumers are changing on, you are seeing, like, the biggest thing we're seeing. Look at Hasbro and Wizards. Look at what's happening to them. Look, I mean, they just laid off 20% of the company. Which, again, an email I sent to myself when, you know, they laid off a bunch of the company because they know they're going to sell less Magic. And I emailed myself saying, Rudy, if I was going to make a theory on something, I'm going to email you tonight. And I emailed Rudy, and Rudy said, well, gee, that sure does line up. If you're going to be selling less product of Magic and you're going to cut your print runs, you better remove your overhead. So again, I sent that to myself the last few days in a row, and take it for what it's worth. That's all I can say legally. And this is what's happening. Pokemon, that's I said, we're getting ready to move to the One Piece, Lorcana, and Sorcery second. Let me finish my Pokemon rant. But this is, you know, it's going to be up to Pokemon to determine how and when they're going to adjust. Let me explain something to you all. Pokemon, 100% G-word, oh yeah, guaranteed, will adjust. They are the kings at doing system shocks on the market, okay? The reason I say that, I was around for XY, Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon. Let me throw you all back to even like Sun and Moon. Let's go back to XY. Look, Pokemon has a track record of when they see situations like this, they are purposely going to pick a random product and they're going to short print it. We saw this happen in Pokemon's Boom, and then all of a sudden they come out and say, guess what? Pokemon Ultra Prism's coming out. Oh, well. Oh, by the way, it's out of print. Everybody gets half their allocation. Whoa! What the fuck? What? And of course, I think a year later, they did a small second wave of Ultra Prism. Like, everybody got like 1 case. It was so stupid, you couldn't do anything with it. But the point is, Pokemon has shown historical data that when things get really distorted and fucked up and all trashed. And when things get really rough, they will engage in some interesting business practices to swing the needle. And they have a history of literally taking revenue cuts and adjustments. Again, this was before they bought their own printers, to really make Pokemon unpredictable and make it very dangerous to not order a set of Pokemon or the next one. Because they have historically shown that even when things start overprinting, collapsing, they actually adjust. And I assure you all, within the next 12, 24 months, you will see Pokemon make an adjustment. And the reason I'm saying this about this particular company is because the data shows they've done it in the past. If they have engaged in that kind of bit, now some of you all may not like to hear that. Well, Rudy, purposely short printing to make it skyrocket, to make free tenbies and evil people like you. Look, someone's got to be the Joker. When someone, I mean, that's a terrible business practice. And that is a respectable opinion. But at the end of the day, Pokemon's the largest IP in the world. I don't agree with half the things they do. I don't think they agree with probably anything I do. I'm the evil, toxic, blood ever person, right? So if you look at the situation, that is a normal market dynamic. And when we go through these hard dips, you will see that pressure and that frustration rip around. And while Pokemon looks pretty bleak right now, I have a pretty high degree of confidence, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I am not only telling you all that Pokemon's kind of fucked up right now, but I am proving to you all I am willing to take a chance on pallets of sealed Pokemon. Because historically, the data shows, even as short as a year ago, 3 years ago, that they do have the ability to adjust and do things that are uncomfortable. And honestly, they do things that suck. And not getting into giggities, a company who's able to engage in things that suck, no giggities, it kind of shows they can do what needs to be done. So right now, I understand a lot of you all have messaged me. I've had pictures from you all in different stores about, Rudy, we buy my Pokemon. I have leftover. I'm stuck on it. We're selling at 20% losses, this and that. Look, it's not going to get better anytime soon. Okay? It's going to take time. The market is not going to just wake up tomorrow, the sun's going to come up, and suddenly, boom! Pokemon to the moon, just like Sword and Shield. No. I'm sorry. But this stuff in management in these companies go slow, and they make a bunch of fucked up choices. And many times, it's not the management's fault, because the data they're using may not be truly accurate. Because we've all been in situations, like years ago, I mean, all the way back to 08 and 2012, 2015, there's been magic sets over the years, even Pokemon, even with me, that we've made choices based on the data at the time. We made the right choice. But by the time you have that lagging indicator or that lead time, you reflect back at it and you go, well, shit, that was I should have fucking done this. Pokemon should have reduced the print run of Scarlet Violet base. And now, set 4, Paradox, there's no reason for them to still be overprinting after they see the data of the previous sets being overprinted. Does that make sense? So now there's no excuse for Pokemon because they know we are 3, 4, 5 sets into Scarlet Violet. They are fully aware that the products are not selling and LGSs are struggling to carry the product line. Therefore, human nature is going to dictate that the average LGS, let's say at least half of them, let's say 2,000 stores in the United States, are going to reduce exposure and order less Pokemon. Now, in a collectible, investable approach, historically, these are the times, these are the times you shouldn't reduce, because I believe Pokemon will eventually change. But right now, it is a dark path. Stores are frustrated. There is a good probability that Pokemon declines further. There's a good probability that we even, just like Hasbro, we see job cuts from management and we see revenue declines. And I mean, we don't get details because it's kind of private, but there's a good chance that continues. Moving on. I know, right? I know. Glad to make you guys feel good about Pokemon. Now we're going to talk about, should we go into Sorcery next, or should we go into Weiss? Or no, Disney Lorcana. Which one should we? I'm not going to go much into Disney Lorcana. Let me finish the Lorcana part. So again, I am not understanding why people are so fucking pissed about Disney Lorcana. Everyone's furious. Rudy, what do I... Dude, Rudy, we just got to restock the Lorcana. We got the first chapter. We got the first booster box. Prices are now at like 140s, 150s. The sales rate is starting to slow on TCG Player. We're getting nervous. The profit, it's still at one. It's like 140, 150 MSRP. Like, why are any of you out there upset about Disney Lorcana? They told you all they were going to print the fuck out of it. They did what they said. They acknowledged, hey, the demand is so high. The box prices went from 150 to 410. A 3 to 4x price is too high for release date. Nobody's discounting that. But the company made communication to everybody, you, me, your wife's boyfriend, your ex, and Disney Lorcana, Ravensburg. And as they're making their puzzles and 3D puzzles in the background on the Christmas, they told us, we're going to keep reprinting until the price tanks and goes back to MSRP. Now, trying to calculate the exact level of Lorcana reprints needed to make that stable price is almost impossible to do. Because we don't know the true amount of those boxes being opened and played versus being utilized as, holy crap, I'm an LGS. Holy smokes, I have a product that's actually flying off the shelf. What the fuck year am I in? So you have to be very careful trying to mix and match that. Again, in my opinion, Disney Lorcana is the worst offender of management. They make fucking Hasbro look like the Holy Land, okay? Disney Lorcana has no understanding experience of reprints, restocks, demand. All they know is, hey, distribution says we want 25,000 more boxes. I guess we better reprint 25,000 and get our revenue hit. It's like a hit in the veins, right? And they don't understand that if they overdo it, which they will, you will see an immediate shift by set 2, 3, 4. You will see the bell curve, not bell curve, you will see the price erosion, and you will see a lot of the larger entities at play, evil investors, collectors, and people are sending in Disney Lorcana cards to PCG here in Florida. I've seen it almost weekly. And guess what? I've seen, they get them graded. They probably flip them and make a lot of money. Hey, more power to you. But you got to understand, Disney Lorcana it's not about the cards. It's not about the game. It's not about the actual boxes and sets. And again, I'm even talking Disney Lorcana with fucking stickers on the side. They have stickers! How are you not bullish right now? The fucking box has got stickers from Target or Wally World. I don't know. And, Disney Lorcana needs to be taken at face value. Okay? It's a Disney game being ran by management who makes puzzles. There's nothing wrong with any of that. They are going to make a lot of money, but I'm going to say it before and I'm going to say it again. I wouldn't touch it with your wife's boyfriend because there is no evidence, zero, that they can navigate proper print runs in this post-COVID world. And I will remain, congratulations to you all who bought a lot of Disney Lorcana and sold it to people at $400 a box. And I'm sorry for the viewers out there who bought a lot of Disney Lorcana for $400 and now you've lost 70, 80% of your money or whatever, 65, 70%. That is the nature of market swings. That doesn't make Lorcana the enemy, doesn't make Ravensburger the enemy, doesn't make Disney the enemy. If you go back to your local store in, Colorado and Vegas or Tennessee or New York, you come to any store and walk back into that LGS and say, you sold me this box for $200-300 and I thought I was getting a deal because you took $100 off TCG Player and now I've lost half my money. That is the nature of price swings. And, when I see messages and people saying, Rudy, I boycotted that LGS. Fuck them. They sold me a box of Lorcana for $300. It's down to $150. I knew they were scumbags. Yeah, that's real terrible. So a store that has a bunch of CCGs that's bleeding to death and going bankrupt and possibly going to lay everybody off had one product that could actually be sold at a profit, and they gave you a small discount to market or $100 off market, which now drops so much you're angry and you never want to shop there again. You're going to give them 1 stars and bash them on the internet. Yeah. And for all of you out there, I know you should open an LGS. You too can work full-time, live in poverty, but remember, just like Wizards of the Coast says, we pay under the industry average because you get the privilege to work at Wizards of the West Coast. Moving the fuck on. Next, what are we going over to? Sorcery. Huh? Sorcery. Okay. Beta, as of the filming of this video, beta boxes are like $200 a box. It appears there's some online dealers that still have a bunch of boxes at MSRP that they just are not running out of, which is strangely interesting. And I don't know if there's a second wave coming or a second reprint. I have not been able to confirm any of that. I haven't heard of a reprint. I do know I have the rest of my original quantity coming in a couple weeks for my final second wave. I don't think it's a reprint. I've been checking. Some stores said that some distributors gave them like a case. So I haven't had any confirmation from Sorcery, social media, the Taco Bell drive-thru, or even waffle fries at Chick-fil-A on a Sunday morning. I was the only person there. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I've had no evidence that there is a large reprint of any kind coming. I have not been able to confirm that. I do know some remainder allocations are kind of going out and remainder waves that were stuck in like customs. And anybody seen my fucking playmats? Like seriously? And I do know that. So as far as my opinion, so Sorcery beta boxes are sitting around $200 a box. What Eric's Curioso does in the next 6 to 9 months, as we wait a long period of time till the first expansion, is going to be up to them. Now, obviously, my advice and Rudy's opinion, which, bad guy Rudy, because I want to rob you all, my advice is they should not reprint the shit out of beta. In my opinion, if Sorcery decides to reprint a fuck ton of boxes, if they make another billion boxes, I don't know how many fucking boxes they made the first time. Let's say they do the same amount as the first time. I think there's a good probability of, guess what? I guarantee you everybody would buy it. I guarantee you all distribution would say thank you very much. Distribution would fly through those things to stores all over the country. Now, the real challenge becomes, after that nice free 10 days of revenue hit for the Sorcery company, and distributors and distribution get their nice check, the real problem comes to play. Obviously, at $200 a box, they're slightly above MSRP. What, 25%? MSRP is what, 150, 160? So, if they reprint the set, not only will it go back to 150, most likely it'll go down to probably 100, 110 a box. Now, many of you all are going to say, that's still not bad. I mean, what's a store cost of Sorcery? $80? I think it's 80, or high volume might be 70, 76? 80. Even at 110, I mean, a store can sell a box even online and make $5, $10. So, it's risky. Now, I've talked to them in the past and recently, and I've given them my opinion. In my opinion, I would not go about saying, hey, we could easily sell X amount of thousands and make X amount of hundreds of thousands or millions just like that. The problem is, there are so many ways to make money in this world. And if you're a company, do you want to lean and put pressure on that category of risk to generate the revenue? Versus maybe making another product. Maybe making a supplemental small product quarterly or in between big annual releases. That's when we talked about I know I'm going to go back to Magic, I'm sorry. But when we fucking talked about Hasbro and Magic, and the Magic 30, the dumbest shit I've ever seen in modern times. Like the fucking management. Dude, I'm telling you all right now. I swear to God, half the people at Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast, the corporate management level at these people, I'm telling you, I think 30% of them came from Lehman Brothers, 20% came from Enron. I even think 6.9% came from Blockbuster Video. Like the fucking people at this place, I swear to God, they literally take a goldfish, cut all the fins off, take the tail off, shove it inside the mouth of the fish, spin it in a fish tank, and wherever it lands, whatever pebble on the bottom the fish lands on, like, Wizards like, that's what we're doing! That's what we're doing! Like, I swear to God, it blows my mind with how that company, like, it also shows you all the power of Magic the Gathering and how much we are addicted and loyal to these beautiful cards and games. We love these games. I'm bitching about every card game in history. Magic, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, Metazoo, are we alive? Anybody seen Metazoo? Metazoo, Weiss, Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh! But we'll assume they suck too. And I mean, when we look at this stuff, you know, One Piece and Lorcana, we got to talk about One Piece. You know, the issue is not the products and the beautiful cards in the game itself. Most of the time, the issue is market forces move in directions that are not favorable. And it's very difficult to predict these things. Now, in my personal opinion, what we saw happen with Magic the Gathering and Hasbro was so self-inflicted. You were coming off a market high, and as you went down, not only did they not cut print runs, they fucking ramped up print runs and started nuclear destruction of Magic sets. Boom, 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 boom. And now, you've got new Magic products in Hasbro going, oh shit. All right, everybody in the room. All right, if your name is Rudy, all the way to Zebra, you're all fired. Do we do it? Do I still get my $9 million bonus? No, wait, Cynthia, what are you getting? $6 million? Yeah. And it's like, these stores, and I know some of you are going to say, Rudy, the LGS model is outdated, it's worthless, nobody cares, Amazon dump, Rudy, blah, 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 Rudy pump and dump. You know, LGS stores are important. You know, you can say, look at Rudy acting like stores are important. He's the one who destroys them all. Yeah, I know. I know. You all are happy that the more things get destroyed, or if Rudy loses money, I know there's a good group of you all that, finally, let's get rid of this guy. But, you know, someone needs to talk about this stuff. And I am the only one that has a third ball sack that can talk about these topics. Because guess why? You know why I need a third ball sack? Because it hurts. You ever been kicked in the balls? It hurts. And I love this stuff. I'm sitting surrounded by shit that's failing. And I guarantee you, as you're watching this video, consider supporting me on Patreon. I guarantee you I'm losing patrons as this video is ticking. Because if I was a patron, I'd be like, well, fuck, why should I support a guy who's in an industry that everything's failing? I get it. Hold on a second. Remember, folks, I'm trying to stay in business. Remember, folks, believe in Hasbro. This shirt is worth more than your fucking game pieces. Link below, eBay. Buy a fucking shirt from me. I make $6 a piece. Thank you. That's the reality of it. And when you look at Hasbro and Magic, the reality is they are going to cut print runs. They've already started. And not only is that going to lead to lower revenues, but you're seeing lower revenues means less jobs. So what does Hasbro do? They cut their people. It's very difficult for most people to make money in this industry. Most companies to expand and do well. Because no matter how successful you are at any level, store, basement dweller, LGS, game manufacturer, distributor, the margins are thin, and when market conditions become bad, many times people get caught under a lot of duress and leverage. And I believe Hasbro is experiencing that. And it's going to be very interesting to see how Sorcery navigates that in the future. I believe Lorcana, backed by Disney, I have 0% confidence that they will not completely go nuclear and fuck up everything. Out of every card game right now in existence, I think the highest probability of imploding is Disney Lorcana based on management. The next from the bottom, I was going to say is my concern and sadness with the state of MetaZoo after what happened with Hello Kitty, and the amount of stores out there that have reached out to me that are sitting on all this Hello Kitty and angry customers and things because they were selling Hello Kitty at like $150 a box MSRP. And I don't know what to tell you all on that. It's an absolute very, very sad state of things. I still think MetaZoo is going to be around. I think they're going to be in like forcible category where I think they will, similar to many card games in the past, I think they're going to continue to make products. I don't think it's going to go away. But I think, how do I say this? I think the upward movement is now capped and limited. And it's going to be really difficult to break that glass ceiling to make the game grow. Not saying it's impossible, but it's very improbable. That's what sucks, you know. Moving on from Disney Lorcana, I want to go back and mention now with the One Piece situation. So One Piece is doing incredibly well. There's a lot of hype, FOMO, evil investors, collectors, players. I'm seeing One Piece cards being sent to PCG here in Florida for slabbing and grading on a weekly basis, and it's an impressive looking game. I did a box opening on it, but then again, personally, I'm not a fan of the Disney Lorcana, but personally, out of all of them, and I know this is a hot take, and you guys don't want to hear this, but I still like MetaZoo art. It's family friendly and fun. I still think Flesh and Blood has the best art, and I still think Sorcery has the best art. Magic art is not nearly as cool as I like it to be, or old school style. I'm not even a fan much of Pokemon art. So if you want my opinion where I stand on artwork and how beautiful the cards and mechanics and uniqueness of the game, I still think like Flesh and Blood is kind of king, and I think that Sorcery and Magic and kind of the hierarchy of it, and I think at the bottom is things like Disney Lorcana, which again, I know Disney characters, but they just look very, it reminds me almost like Weiss. Regular Weiss cards I think suck. Screenshots of anime. What makes Weiss so beautiful is those hidden high-end cards. They're fucking beautiful. And I think it's a similar thing to that. Now, One Piece has a monster IP behind it. The problem with One Piece is it's ran and owned by Bandai. Now, if you don't know much about Bandai, they have a terrible track record. And the management, the people who hire and fire, and the turnover, whoever's running that company this year, they don't have a good track record of navigating the card game long term. So the problem is, what happens in 12 months from now when One Piece set 8 or 9 comes out? And the print run gets increased to 100 or 200,000 fucking boxes. And suddenly, the set comes out. I don't know, whatever the cost is of a store, let's just call it, $70. And all of a sudden, the boxes collapse below 100, 90, 80, 70. And you have a situation like a Yu-Gi-Oh box or something or a Magic box or something, or a MetaZoo box, or what happens if you have a situation where they release a product that's overprinted and it tanks. That's usually a defining moment that One Piece has not experienced yet. Sorcery hasn't experienced it yet. One Piece hasn't experienced it yet. Disney Lorcana is in the transitioning phase right now. So right now, Sorcery has a flawless record. They've never destroyed one of their own sets or products. One Piece is at 5 set releases, okay, in the last, 2 years? And out of the 5 sets One Piece has released, none of them have collapsed. So they have a flawless record, and that is why collector and investor and people are obsessed and dumping their fucking money in One Piece. It's a beautiful product. The card quality is off the chart gorgeous. Reminds me of Weiss cards and like Force of Will cards. There's no... People are viewing One Piece, who don't even want it, as holy shit. Well, Rudy's ran 2 One Piece sales in the last 6 months. Fuck. People complaining. I mean, I ran my first One Piece sale a couple months ago. $500 for 4 boxes. A box of the original One Piece of Romance of Dawn or something, and 4 boxes of like Kingdom. Okay? And I ran it for like $4.99 shipped. Of course, people got pissed. Here's Rudy, fucking scumbag, pumping this. Same old shit. I know, I'm the bad guy. Rawr, I stole your ex and I banged her and your wife's boy. But now, this is the same patrons like, holy shit, when's another One Piece release? Rudy, I bought 4 boxes from you for $500 or something. And now one of those boxes by itself is $500. Oh my God, I doubled my money in 90 days. Well, I'm happy to hear that. But that's not normal. You're not supposed to fucking double your money and make quick tendies. Okay? We want a product to come out and be stable. If it comes out and holds at a price, maybe fluctuates up 10%, down 10%, maybe it spikes 20, 30%, maybe it goes down 10%. That's what you want in a healthy ecosystem. And when you have that, it's not that... I don't feel good that the set did that. I feel good because now I know that everybody else is going to say, hey, when's the fucking next set? And when the next set comes out, people are going to want to order it, and they're going to have the consumer confidence to hold pre-orders, increase their pre-order, and it builds a more stable foundation for growth into the future. If I release a new set of fucking MetaZoo Hello Kitty, and within 5 days it goes from 100 or 150 or whatever was the peak, down to $50, $60, we got a fucking problem, man. And if nothing is done, what happens is what we saw happen. And it's fucking depressing. It's fucking disappointing. And I know what that means. That means if another MetaZoo set, I'm assuming is coming out or supposed to come out, I don't know. If another MetaZoo set comes out, even if I order it, I don't know if anyone's going to buy it. Because everyone's going to be like, Rudy, why the fuck? I'm not, dude, are you kidding me? I'm going to buy it from you, but by the time the package shows up at my ex-girlfriend's house, I'm going to lose half my money before I even see your shipping label. I mean, and that creates market distortions and makes people angry at the store. The store gets angry, tells the distributor no. The distributor gets yikes, and then they order less from the manufacturer. It kind of backpedals through the system. So, to sum up the One Piece situation, I promise after this video, no more depressing. Like I said, the first filming was 50 minutes long. I couldn't do a 2-hour video. It was too much. Had to take a breather. So, and I changed locations. Not by much. Like 30 feet. One Piece is going to continue to do very well until it doesn't. And I assure all of you out there, no matter how excited you are at One Piece, and I know this is going to make me the bad guy, and I know it's going to piss some of you the fuck off and you're going to hate me. But guess what? Someone's got to say it, and there's going to be a time. One Piece is going to release a set, and it's going to fail. And you all are going to be very angry, and you're going to say One Piece is dead. And then I could get stuck with boxes. Your LGS could get stuck with boxes. And the price is going to drop. And then everyone's going to say, oh, look at Rudy. He's working with Bandai, and he's destroyed. I knew that guy destroys it. And we will shift back to that song and dance again. So to swing back around the beginning of this video, okay, we are remaining our long swim through this bear market, which is now 2 years. I can confidently say, in my entire adult life where I've pretended to be important and I've acted like I'm someone special, even though I'm just a random dude in Florida who bet my life on cardboard when everybody laughs at me, attacks and threatens me. And I'm here to tell you all, this bear market is still going on. And all eyes are on Magic in the coming 2 weeks with their first set of 2024. And you bet your ass we're going to report whether it's good or if it goes to hell. And the reality of these markets are going to do a lot of damage. You're going to have a lot of wealth destruction, inventory, price erosion. Yeah, that thing held the whole time. You're going to have a lot of strain on these rubber bands. And some of these rubber bands are going to snap. Some of these card games, as we've seen from COVID era 2020, 2021, and all the Kickstarter stuff, they are going to fail. Most of them have already failed and disappeared. We are going to continue to see, many of you all are going to leave the industry. We're going to continue to see things fractured and a lot of anger flow. A lot of you all are going to be attracted to drama and failure and separation and destruction. And I feel that we still have, hopefully not too much longer, until we really get a stable market moving forward. As of the filming of this video, Wall Street, at least in the last few days, through the holidays, at least when I'm filming this, I don't know what day you're going to see this video, Wall Street is making bets that we are going to have Federal Reserve and government interest rate cuts going into 2024 because the Fed said that. And the market's been rallying, and people are anticipating the economy does improve some next year. Do I think that's going to be the case? It feels like it, but I don't know. Because in my opinion, I don't believe cutting interest rates and trying to stimulate everything is the right course of action. You're gonna put fuel on inflation again, and you're gonna hurt the average working class individual who's working hard, trying to support their family and trying to do something in this world. And I don't think that concept is very good for the overall health of the United States, mankind, and human beings. We all win and do the best when economies and markets and things flow and function. When secondary markets for collectibles are healthy, slow-moving, and stable. When products come out and they collapse, whether it's a Weiss set, a MetaZoo set, a Magic the Gathering set, a Pokemon set, a Flesh and Blood set, a Sorcery set, a Disney Lorcana set, it doesn't matter what it is. When things don't do well, everybody loses. And there's no way to prevent that kind of loss or adjustment from happening. All we can do is discuss together how we all feel about it. And hopefully we can all make it through to the other end of the tunnel. And we can all see and still be in this beautiful industry when, the sun comes out and things improve. Now, as heartwarming as a speech like that is, well, before I end this video, I can tell you that even now, most of you watching will not be around or watching this video. Most of the patrons watching, you will not be a patron in the future and after so many months or years if the market continues to be bad. Whether it's personal issues and financial struggles, or it's things falling apart or collapsing or separation or failure or bankruptcy. Things are going to happen that are going to pull in opposite directions. And it's textbook bear market. As they say, one of the reasons I don't like bailouts on Wall Street and large companies is that bailouts create zombie companies. And sometimes you got to let things fall apart. And you got to let big companies on Wall Street fail. If you keep bailing out a bank that keeps failing, all you're doing is creating a zombie company that's like, I'm alive, I'm still here. But there's no one home. There's no caring. There's no moral compass. Everyone's angry. Everyone's given up. And out of every sector right now, if I had to handpick it, that is how people feel with Magic the Gathering. By far, the worst is Magic. You see the negativity in all the other card games, but by far, Magic and Pokemon's probably not too far behind with all the Scarlet Violet stuff. The anger and frustration, the erosion of sales and demand of these new Pokemon, it's getting nasty. It's fucking shitty. And I think we have a bigger issue of print runs misaligning with pretty much consumer demand and the ability for the consumer to spend. And unfortunately, solving that, there's only two ways. A, you reduce print run that nobody wants to do because you lose your revenue. You show year-over-year decline, and in Wall Street and corporations, that's a sign of a failing business because we didn't have annual growth, so nobody wants to take that. Or B, the direction everybody wants to take, is you need to increase demand, increase player base, increase collectors, increase the whales, and make them feel confident to want to put money into your card game. And right now, the biggest victim of this whole conversation is Magic and Hasbro. And we are 2 weeks away from seeing the big day. And that's really about it, folks. Sorry to make such long videos, but like I said, I don't want to publish a 2-hour video and everything, but I'm supposed to say, stay the course, right? Is that what I'm supposed to say? Stay the course? I don't think most people will. I think you should stay the course, but I don't think most people will anymore. I don't think the average human psyche, I don't think the average person right now, going into 2024, after everything that's happened, 2 years of either flat or negative returns on all collectibles, I don't think, like if you're wired normally, and you're a normal functioning human being, you should not stay the course. Because it defies all logic of what you feel is the right thing to do. So I do not believe we are at the point that most people are going to. Now, investing and collecting, historically, you should be the most aggressive, the most reckless, and the most timmy in times of utter despair and devastation. Right? So the question remains, how many people are really going to do that? How many people are going to try anything? I don't think I got anything left. This channel will resume your normally scheduled box opening videos. I think we've got 4 Magic videos. I think I got 2 Flesh and Blood videos, a Weiss video. I think there's 1 Sorcery video left. And thanks for the support, folks. I guess I can say penis.